And here we have one of those alligators that they just pulled out of the water. Jake Reinbold here, the herpetologist, needs to get the tape around her mouth to make sure that she's secure before we take her over to the truck. This is the Progreso Bridge, and over the last couple days, things have changed quite a bit here. People here are from Eastern Europe, from Russia, from those surrounding countries, and they're lined up here at the Progreso Bridge as far as the crest of that bridge to wait to see an asylum officer in the U.S. They've got eyes on the Mexican lancha, which is over there by the lighthouse, which is in Mexico. But the problem is that it's so close to the border, the U.S.-Mexico border, that if they approach, the lancha will escape into Mexican waters. Dina, the governor came down and signed the bill right at this border wall construction site. This is an ongoing border wall construction site here at the south end of Brownsville. Governor says that this is in direct response to the White House's inaction on border security. Multiple law enforcement entities, local, state, federal, from multiple counties were coming in and out this channel here to try to get out there, to try to find these individuals who were reported out on the water, a capsized boat.
We're here for the best part of the week, my favorite part of the week. We're here with Alejandra Rodriguez from Gladys Porter Zoo. And I always ask people, don't tell me what you're bringing so I can find out at the very last moment. Of course, I saw it before we got on. What did you bring?
So this is a marine toad, also known as a cane toad. So they are native to the area. You might see them out and about.
I have something to tell you. We have a cane toad here at the station.
From hotels to corner stores, several businesses are rebounding from flooding and from lost sales. Channel 5's Frank McCaffrey spoke with the Raymondville business about what they're doing to recover. This is the exciting part, so I want to show you what we've got in here. And you want to be able to hear this too. These guys are not moving fast. They're trying to get to the water where they can move a lot more quickly. But right now, she's in what they call a trance. She's only worried about getting those eggs in the ground. Yeah, I'm at Edwin King Atwood Park. It's one of the first beach accesses. And let me try to show you. There it is.
And the bioluminescent plankton is back.
Christine, from where I'm standing, you can see the largest rocket on Earth, the largest flying object, according to Elon Musk. It took the company about 8 years to reach this point. You're talking about planning, financing, lobbying, coming out here, building the prototypes and doing construction. 8 years. And the final hurdle right now is the FAA review. If they don't complete that, the company is talking about moving more of these operations over to Florida. We are expecting more attempts, more prototypes out on the pad. SN-10 is already in place.
Because it's so big, we need to build it near where we test it. So we have the advantage here of being able to build it and then take down the road.
This is the Falcon Dam, as close as we can get. This was built in 1953 to control the flow of floodwaters into the Rio Grande Valley, to try to steady out the flow between the hurricanes and the dry seasons.
Mucha violencia.
No sería bueno quedarse ahí para trabajar.
No.
Como le comentamos ayer, oficiales del gobierno mexicano empezaron a registrar a algunas personas para visas de tránsito. Stay tuned, we got more of these alligators to round up. Thank you for joining us. We hope you can join us back here at 5 and 6 tonight. Have a good one. Good night.
Nobody said it's easy to catch an alligator.
You're kidding me.
With instincts as old as time, and they're at home in the water.
Are you kidding me?
It's no easy task to round up 8 alligators. The first one today, the heftiest one. They won't make it easy even when the snare does work. This 6-foot male rolls over and over as a defense, putting up a fight to get back into the water, while the other ones look on.
That's my pole. You can't have it.
This task takes at least 3 men. First, to tape down his mouth, but he can still fight without his jaws. He'll work his muscles as much as he can, and watch that hat on the handler's head. The strong tail whips around and throws it right off.
It's a very powerful animal.
Jake Reinbold is the head alligator keeper.
We're gonna put him over here.
It's now fully restrained, but still dangerous.
So that tail is still a deadly weapon in this head.
He shows me how they get on the alligator, how to keep the pressure on it, and what to look out for.
There was an alligator during one of my boss's road shows, swung its tail, sliced his Achilles. What you don't want to be doing is standing behind him when he's like this, because even though he's all taped up and wrapped up and all that, that tail swings hard enough at you, it can do some serious damage.
Each one of these gators is going for a ride.
Pull the tail real secure.
Yep, hug everything tight to your body.
A ride to Beaumont. The small pond here at the island sanctuary is full now.
Every single one of these alligators is one that was in the wild and someone fed them. So those alligators have to either be put down or taken to a sanctuary like ours.
They say they keep receiving calls about nuisance alligators in the community.
And what they don't realize, that little alligator that you fed is going to turn into a much bigger alligator. And when it's a kid or someone trying to go fishing that walks up to that pond next and that alligator is expecting to be fed, that's how accidents happen.
With a hand from Juan Diego Lara and Lorenzo Duque, there's more alligators to round up.
It attracts them. They think it's food.
Male gators 6 foot and bigger are looking for mates and the fight, and that's why they keep them small here.
So as long as you keep them well fed and they're not worried about breeding so much, that keeps the aggression down in the pond.
There are more gators to catch.
When you do this, do you feed them before?
No. So actually I skip feeding this week. It makes them a little more eager to come up so they can get fed.
As humans and alligators keep coming into contact,
Not a lot of people take the effort to learn about animals that they're afraid of.
they want the message to be understood that people and gators can coexist and keep a safe distance as well.
Really what we're trying to do, instead of catching more and more alligators, is trying to teach more and more not to feed them.
A home for alligators here at the island is making home for more gators. Christian von Preysing, Channel 5 News at 10. Today on the Mexican side of the border, in Nuevo Progreso, at what's normally a tourist border crossing, a never-before-seen amassing of immigrants.
We came here to ask political asylum in the USA.
Leira Sokolienko, one of at least 170 people at this bridge. Dozens of families from Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and her husband.
And when you see other people like you became friends so fast.
From Russia and Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, from Ukraine, they have
Like
another
Soviet
thing.
Russian countries.
Yes.
Shuffled to the side along the pathway to the U.S. side of the bridge. Families are linked to each other only by a shared goal on the other side of the border.
People who already come, they give us like bag, sleep bag, and something for.
Did they leave it
shower.
behind for you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. They buy and give us.
Sokolienko says she'll give what she has to the next family that comes. Through these cold nights, families are keeping warm with tents and sleeping bags. Meals and food come in from Good Samaritans on this side of the border. Many are waiting for days with kids and toddlers.
Problem it's little children who need to change pampers and this kind of things.
Yes.
They like really little.
One of them, 18-year-old Sergei Antonov from Siberia.
Why is your family here?
I have a paper from government to go war, and my family afraid I can to go war and die. Because this, we want immigrant on USA.
His family are native people from the Sakha region of Russia, along with 4 other families here who made the choice to leave home, citing oppression from Moscow and culminating in a military draft.
Russia is occupied our Siberian lands about 300-400 years ago, and the same situation is in Ukraine.
This woman asked us to blur her face because she fears reprisal from the Russian government.
Putin and his policies are oppressing indigenous peoples, destroying our ecology for the sake of oil, gas, gold, and diamonds in our native land.
They say they will not fight in the war they don't agree with.
We don't want our sons and husbands to go there.
Each family has a different set of circumstances for leaving the region and coming here. Sokolienko, a native Ukrainian living in Russia, fled with her husband, who's ethnically Kurdish, facing persecution in Turkey.
Why did you leave your country?
Because if now I will come back to my country, I will go to jail, and in jail I will be killed.
The families here are now waiting together, safety in numbers. Some paid human smugglers large sums of money to make it this far. Some have been robbed of their money, but their goal is just to cross the bridge.
What do you want to do in America?
To go study, work, and living.
All of them left their lives back home to make it to the United States. Christian von Preysing, Channel 5 News. 7:30 a.m., the Coast Guard station, South Padre Island. The southernmost post for this branch of the military that watches our coastal border. We're on a small pursuit boat. The 4-man crew loads up and loads us up as well. Vests, life jackets, sidearms, and helmets.
I put this on for protection. They start going fast.
This is one of their routine patrols. To find out what's out there. speed is their advantage. They're looking for signs that illegal fishing is happening.
Anybody sees any Coke bottles or anything like that, let us know.
We spot floating illegal fishing gear bobbing over the water. Moving south from SPI for about 8 miles, Petty Officer Harrison Hughes calls it in.
For the lanchas, EIW.
A lancha, just far enough away to be a difficult catch. It's close, but it's also close to Mexico.
Is we'll detain them, bring them back to station.
If caught, their boat and gear is taken away too.
Trying to run distraction techniques, anything they can to draw us away from the most valuable traffic.
They keep watching it and locate the gill net, which is thousands of feet of illegal net long enough to reach the 40-foot seafloor. These 3 engines give them about 300 horsepower. More horsepower than the lanchas and fast enough to catch up. They've got eyes on the Mexican lancha, which is over there by the lighthouse, which is in Mexico. But the problem is that it's so close to the border, the U.S.-Mexico border, that if they approach, the lancha will escape into Mexican waters. The gill net, it turns out, is fresh and doesn't have the thousands of fish that are sometimes found in here.
Gill nets used by the lanchas are indiscriminate fishing implements, right? So a lot of bycatch, a lot of sharks, a lot of rays.
This week, at least 5 sharks were caught in illegal long lines. One of them a 14-foot hammerhead.
Rather large shark. So my immediate concern, of course, is just the safety of my crews sticking their hands down into the water.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is concerned about the unregulated catch of sharks. The lanchas contribute to that.
They're very maneuverable, they are quite quick, and at the end of the day, they are skilled mariners. They've been doing this mission for a long time on their end as well.
Coming back to the station, a 90-minute round trip to offload what they caught. They pulled out 2.5 miles worth of gill net. This is the yard that holds the Mexican lanchas that are seized, stored for a waiting period, 45 days until they're destroyed. They're all the same color, they're all the same build, which suggests they're all made in the same place. Here where the ocean meets the border, there's a lot more to do to protect natural resources.
The honest answer is, it makes me sad to see these beautiful natural creatures killed for economic gain solely. So I look at that and I see that impact, and it motivates me to be out there more.
And they say part of the problem is the repeat offenders, people that they see out here today, maybe back out there tomorrow. Part of the problem when they seize the boats, if they're able to catch up with the boat, they can seize the boat, they can seize the equipment, they can seize the line, they can detain the individual from the Border Patrol custody, but oftentimes there's no jail time. They go right back to Mexico. And they say that oftentimes they know these lancheros on a first-name basis. Christopher Preysing, Channel 5 News.
Thing I like to come down here, see how Texas is.
We don't really seek a reputation. We just want to help people in need.
This work is being done for free by people 2,000 miles away from home.
It sure was quite a shock from going from 32 degrees going to 80 degrees.
The work here at this place in San Benito, it serves immigrants trying to start a new life.
This group is a horse and buggy Mennonite from New York.
The people working here are Mennonite. Some are Amish, like Lester Eicher.
They like it because they had to go home to snow and the sunshine down here.
The Mennonites have different customs, different ways of dressing.
One of my friends had been to Texas already, and we always thought we'd like to go on a cleanup trip.
This gets me out, I can help other people, and I can see the country.
Like 34-year-old James Zimmerman from Penn Yan, New York.
I work on a farm, a dairy farm. We have organic milk.
The work here at La Posada Providencia will add these 3 buildings to the shelter grounds. The shelter takes in migrants for long stays and offers services. And frequently they're out of room to house any more people.
Well, it's going to double our ministry here. We're serving about 28 people. We're going to be able to serve about 50 people.
People at La Posada are learning from the Mennonites.
How are you today?
And the Mennonites are learning about them. Can you tell me about the accent?
The accent would be maybe part of it would be a little German and like northern the U.S.
The horse and buggy Mennonite wear like checkered shirts and boughten pants. Old order Amish, we wear plain shirts, we wear homemade pants, homemade shirts. We wear full beards.
Much of the supplies are paid through the Mennonite Disaster Service, which they do around the country.
They'll say, we've got this project, this project, this project. Which one can you do?
Their goal in being here is to help others over these next 2 weeks and to see a new place.
Get out and see how y'all doing in Texas. I got some Texan accent.
The work is nearly complete on this new place to help people in need. Chris von Preysing, Channel 5 News.